And maybe I think it's body language. Maybe women can like read certain things. I mean, what do you think, Akito? Do you think that's true? Do you think there's some guys who are just naturals out there with women?
Well, let's start with the natural term.
You know,
guy who's a natural. There's two things that could be happening. I don't have all the answers, but I do have some good answers for you. For the guy who's a natural, two things is happening underneath the surface. He is either confident. He's either from childhood, or he's the guy who's just confident. Now, I'm not going to say naturally, because we're all conditioned to do a few things or another. But he's okay with himself. So when he's interacting with men and women and whoever else, he's comfortable, so it looks natural. That's the natural guy. Now, when you talk about pickup lines and just being someone who naturally compliments a woman, those are two different things. It's like self-defense. A guy who fights Street Fighter, and there's not another guy who's actually practiced some type of martial arts.
Right.
So they're two different levels, but they both can get the job done in one way or another.
That's
what you see when you see it natural.
Right. Yeah, I've seen that before. What by the way, what is the name of the book that you have out for our listeners? It's called The Inner Game, and is that talking about what, confidence? Is that a confidence book?
Yeah, I have 4 different books. They all are in separate categories, but they all work toward the same goal, which is bettering the human being, whether it's a male or female, because women can read as well and learn as well about themselves. The book I have Secrets to Inner Game 1 and 2. That's a book that, all books were engineered while I was with Seductive Instinct. So let me go ahead and say that as well. So Secrets to Inner Game 1 and 2 were a compilation of notes that I had gathered from my teacher at the time, who is Arash P. Bazaar of Seductive Instinct. And so the things I had learned, I compiled in one book, put it together and put it out, which helped a lot of people. From there, I went to writing sort of a sequel to The Game. Okay. Neil Strauss's book, The Game.
That was a great book.
A similar storyline, not the same book, similar storyline. And it explains my journey, tells my story about how I was a guy with no confidence and having skills with women. And I came into the pickup art community, became very proficient. A few companies took interest in me. I chose Seductive Instinct. And from there, everything else is history. So there's Secrets to Inner Game 1 and 2. There's Beyond the Game, Money, Power.
And do you yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, do you think some people say that looks and money don't matter. I mean, don't you think that is kind of like what women want? I mean, isn't that really? I mean, they say, do you think really a guy who's got super good game, you think that doesn't matter for him?
It matters,
right,
to a certain extent. It matters to a certain extent because you can be a very wealthy man or a very powerful man and still not be able to keep women around. And so it helps a man, but it doesn't make him, and it doesn't also make the attraction solidify. It's not the material things, and this is really not talked about a lot of times, but it's not the material things that we think she's attracted to. Those things are the preliminary things that open the door to attraction, but it does not keep her. So let me just say that.
And so now, before
you could be in luck.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's hard. It's hard because I always feel that, like I said, I always feel that with women, it's the woman that I treat like a friend, like a guy that I'm not like showing any interest in, that seems to be nice to me, and the woman that I want to see that text message from, and I'm like hoping to hear from her and see her. That's the one that doesn't seem to show me anything, So it's different, I guess it seems like if I show interest, it seems like they just run away. It seems like it doesn't do me any Good. What do you think, Akito?
Well, let's take it from the basic, because there's so many different scenarios, situations that we can kind of throw out there. Let's just take a basic situation that a guy sees a woman, a young lady, from afar, and she doesn't see him. He approaches her spontaneously, and let's just say he says, "Hey, hello, my name is John. I saw you from afar. You're very beautiful. I'd like to buy you a drink," or something like that, right?
But I thought you're not supposed to tell a girl if you think she's beautiful that she's beautiful right away. I thought they say in game you're not supposed to tell her that you think she's attractive right away. Is that true?
Well, there's many different theories and different methods, but just giving a basic. Because I'm sure you have listeners who may not know anything about pickup arts. So I don't want to give anything that's going to confuse them. Right. So we just take a basic situation, and there's a guy from afar. He walks up. She doesn't see him. How do you make her attracted to you in that sense? And a lot of times what we do is, because we've been conditioned to say, go up to her and give her a compliment. There's nothing wrong with the compliment. The problem is it's what you want in return from the compliment. You're walking up to a woman, you're telling her she's beautiful. What do you want in return?
Sex.
She feels you want something. What is that thing that you want? And that's what a lot of times turn her off, because she feels that you're trying to get your compliment isn't genuine.
Oh, okay.
And this is why we tell, we would teach guys, do not compliment right away. Because it's sort of like the homeless guy, and no disrespect to anybody who's ever been homeless. I'm giving an example. Right. It's like the person who walks up, even someone who's doing some type of volunteer work, Red Cross, and they ask you for $1 or some change. Right. Immediately you feel something. And whether it's negative or positive, you feel something. It's the same way for the company, for the woman. She feels something. Right. So, and also to go ahead and add what you said about body language. Right. Yes, body language is also important. If I stand next to you and you don't know me and I'm too close to you, you'll feel like I am violating your personal space. So if I approach her, she doesn't know me, and I get too close to her and violate her space, she's going to be uncomfortable. So what we want to do is do all the things that do not make her uncomfortable. And this is why you don't compliment right away unless you know how.
All right. So
you tell a guy, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, okay, so you're at a bar. And you're looking down, and there's an attractive woman, and you kind of make eye contact, and she gives you a smile. And then you go back and you're talking to whoever you're talking, and you glance at her again, and she looks at you, and she gives you another smile. And you go up to her. Do you excuse yourself from your friends, or is it just a friendly smile and doesn't mean anything?
Well, the best thing to do for a person who has no experience with women and who do not understand the female psychology, this is why it's deeper than just the surface. For a guy who doesn't understand any of that, the best thing he can do is do not continue to make eye contact with her. If you're going to excuse yourself from your friends, either walk by her and then you turn at an angle and just over your shoulder open her. That'll get you way further than just walking straight up to her and saying, "Hey, my name is John." Because if you think about how women meet each other, women have a neutral conversation. "Hello, my name is Jane. Ellie, what are you doing here? I'm partying." And, we have something in common. Let's exchange numbers and hang out later on. That's what women do. So there isn't anything in there that makes her uncomfortable. It's when man approaches woman, and because we are sexual beings, he immediately feels he wants sex from me. So we need to try to get around that and have a neutral conversation to first display the things that make you attractive. Maybe you that natural guy that you just spoke of, his body language is comfortable. Right. The way he talks to her is comfortable. The way his facial expressions are comfortable. That's what natural looks like. It's only when we try to do something that's not natural to us yet, and it looks weird. Right. Yeah, I think what makes it weird. I think what it is with me is if I find a girl who's attractive, I think I try hard. I think that's how I fuck up. I think I try harder
because I think I care more about what this girl thinks. So I guess it's that putting on a pedestal thing. So I guess I feel like I maybe try harder, and I think I end up screwing up by trying more, difficult. So I think
I'm glad you said that.
That's how I think that's how I mess up, because I think I value the girl more, and I'm like, I want to hear from her. I want my relationship with her to go further. So as to where the girl that's 400 pounds, I don't really give a shit about what she thinks. I'm just like, whatever. If she likes me, she likes me. If she doesn't like me, fine. If she likes me, fine. I don't care. But when it's a girl that I really like, then it's different.
Well, yeah, I know that. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one of the key things that we have to really examine, because when if I take what you said,
because they're going to do something
it's
together.
only when the girl I really like,
right?
If she happens to reject me or not show interest or whatever, it really affects me in a negative way,
right?
And that's the thing to look at, because when you talk about the natural,
right?
I'm not going to say every natural is naturally confident and good with women, because a lot of guys can hide that, like a mask it. We have to look at, why is it that her response will dictate my reality? You see what I'm saying? If we're going to be, if we're going to call ourselves men, and in my, at least I'm speaking from my world. Everyone has their own different, perceptions. In my world, a man at the root is okay with himself, regardless of what anyone says. And so this is why this is a self-help journey. Right. Is because when you go out and you interact with human beings, men and women, because they're all high-value men who we want to get next to, celebrities, things like that. Right. Even approaching a man as a man, I may be a little bit nervous because he may reject me too.
You know that's funny you mentioned that, because it's really weird. I have pictures with, and you can ask Audrey. She's one of our works for that station too. I tell Peter, and he's my co-host here. And it's funny. I'm cool with I have so many pictures with celebrities, and I had a picture with Talib Kweli, and his security actually. I guess he recognized me having pictures with other rappers that are famous, and his security, wasn't letting everybody take a picture with him, but I guess he somehow recognized me with other rappers and let me take a picture with him, let me go in the back and take a picture with him. So with celebrity guys, I'm cool with them, but it's like with celebrity females or with women that are hot, that's where I flake, and I'm like scared. But a guy who's a multimillionaire, I'm cool with going up to talk to him and be like, hey, how you doing? Joe, John, whatever, whether he's big or time or not. But when it comes with women that are attractive, that's where I'm like a scaredy cat, That's my problem.
Well, yeah. I'll say this, because that's something that I did. I also experienced that too in the early beginning of my journey. Yeah. And what I learned, and I'll give you a very powerful tip. If you can apply this will take at least your level of experience to the next level.
Give her a roofie.
You said that when you've been around, millionaire celebrities, etc.
I'm not afraid of guys.
You felt comfortable. Is that right?
Right. Yeah, I'm cool with talking to. I mean, I have so many pictures with so many of them now. At the point, it's like nothing.
Okay. So it's very simple. It's very, very simple. We tend to make things more complicated. All you have to do, and it will take practice. It's not going to be a one-shot thing. All you need to do is embody the emotions and feelings and vibrations that you felt when you was around those millionaire men, or we can say high-value men, because we're talking about status here, or that 10 woman who's also talking about status here. You don't, when you're around celebrity men, you don't equate yourself to anything less than them. Right. I think that's what you do, right?
Right, exactly.
The same thing when you're around women. It's no different.
Right. Well, the thing of it is, though, is I feel to me that even celebrity men, like even say Brad Pitt or whoever, I still feel that as men, there may be some 10s out there. Some of these guys, Derek Jeter, these big time celebrities, they may have difficulty with women just like I do. Like I feel like naturally a lot of guys, even your millionaire guys, may not get turned out as much as I would, but they may still have problems going up to a beautiful girl and that sort of thing. Don't you think so too, Akito? Don't you think even some of your powerful guys have problems with women? I think so.
Well, absolutely. You have some doctors who may have trouble with obesity.
Right.
So just because you're a celebrity doesn't make you good with women automatically. No, that's not the case.
Right.
This is something that you have to take a look at. We all have to take a look at deeper.
Right.
If you did get that, let's take that scenario you mentioned earlier, where the woman who doesn't show you much interest, that's the one you chase. Right.
Yeah. It seems I always like the one that doesn't show me interest.
Yeah. So let's say you finally attract her and y'all finally are in some type of relationship that whatever you prefer.
That'd be nice.
Let's say you finally got her.
Okay. Yeah. I finally got her. Okay.
Whatever emotion that you was experiencing while you was chasing her, you wasn't getting her. Now that you finally got her,
okay,
you never really dealt with the issue because it's not her, it's yourself.
Yeah,
we are with ourselves trying to find things on the outside to fix ourselves internally. Because if you get that girl who was hot, and no disrespect to any women who are listening, this is only a hypothetical situation or example.
Right.
If you get that beautiful woman,
right,
and then in years she starts to lose her beauty because it's only natural. As human beings, we start to deteriorate.
Right.
What happens to you internally when she no longer has that beauty? Do you stay with her, or do you go find another girl to fix your internal issue?
A lot of guys go for the other girl, go for another girl.
Exactly. So that right there tells you that the natural guy the guy who is comfortable with himself,
right,
he may not have those issues. I'm gonna say may not. I can't speak for every man.
Right.
But he may not have those issues.
Right.
Because it's we're talking about things outside of us. The woman is outside of us. The only reason we connect with her is to have some type of internal connection, love, or whatever emotion we are seeking.
Right.
So what I teach and in the books I've written about is way beyond just trying to get the girl.
Right.
It's about trying to fix you.
Right.
If I can fix you, you can get anyone you want.
Well, the funny thing I feel too is that I notice for myself, if I have a girlfriend, or those rare occasions that I do, it seems like women seem to act nicer to me. Or if I'm out in public, if I go out by myself to eat dinner, or if I go out with one of my best friends, she's a female, her name is Deborah, and if I'm out with her or with another lady, I notice that women act differently to me than if I go out by myself. It seems like I'll get much more smiles from women. So I think for some guys, having a female friend is good, because I think that draws. I feel like women treat you differently if you have a woman with you.
Absolutely, that, and the reason being because if you're with a woman and she's a woman,
right,
then she'll feel safer because you're with a woman. It's a mechanism that we have that innately she feels safer, because if a woman's around you,
mm-hmm,
then that woman that she can connect with has already, you could say, subtly said that you're safe to some degree or another.
Yeah,
some
you're less
don't come
creepy.
In and try to take advantage of her and all that.
He's less creepy
at first, And it's no different than if you came to a venue by yourself. If
mm-hmm,
she sees you talking to other women, then that's also what we call pre-selection. That also will tell her to some degree that he must be safe because she's talking to him. Otherwise, we reject men left and right because they are jerks.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. I think that you're 100% right to the guys. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, it's creepy. Yeah,
and I have to tell you, the other thing I used to do, was, again, say you're out having a few drinks or something,
mm-hmm,
and you make eye contact with somebody. I would raise my drink up like a toast, here.
Right.
If they raise and toast back,
Yes.
That opens the door to go and say hello. If they don't toast back, it's like, okay.
I might try that now. I might try the toast thing. See if it works. I try that if I get the toast thing.
You see,
yeah.
I like you said that because that's very good, because that alone is a non-verbal opener. Because if I'm across the room or at least a few feet away, and I take my glass and toast, most likely I'm going to smile with that. Most likely my body's going to look relaxed. I'm going to look like I'm having a good time. So that energy, she'll respond to that in a positive way. Doesn't mean you're going to hook up with her. Doesn't mean you're going to get her in bed, but it does get you in the door. So like you said, go over and have a few words. That's an opener.
Right.
That's good.
Right.
And so, but yeah, I'll turn it back over to you, brother.
Yeah. Do you think now also as well, humor is a really great thing to have with women, because they say if you can make a woman laugh, then you can get in her pants. Do you think that's true?
Yeah,
having a great sense of humor, getting her to laugh.
No, that's not true. You can be a comedian stand up, and she can laugh all through your show, and at the end you're like, hey, it's the phone number. She's like, no, thank you.
Oh yeah, okay, all right.
So no, it's collectively.
And I know a lot of comedians that fit that bill.
Really? I thought a lot of comedians get laid a lot. I thought comedians were like rock stars.
You know what? Your A-list, maybe more of them do.
Yeah.
But your B-list and local and regional, guys, nah.
Wow.
The thing is this, anytime you're doing any type of performance, that's very attractive to anybody, even if you're a teacher. So that's a bonus. The only difference between you and the guy on stage is that he's actually presenting himself to her. You're not. She don't know you yet. So he's in his act, in his stand-up, he's expressing himself through his comedy. So we actually are getting to know the person speaking on stage. So that's why a lot of times when someone can embody that talent, they can do many wonderful things, such as laughter being music to the soul.
Right.
Love to laugh. We love to laugh. That's music to the soul. So that's why it's another powerful type of performance, you could say.
All right. So have you traveled a lot? Have you lived in a few different locations?
Yeah, I have. I've been abroad. I haven't lived abroad. I've taught and traveled abroad, Canada, Mexico.
Okay. So of all the places you've been, what cities are the best for picking up women?
It's a great question. That I'd like to know.
If you're ready for this answer, I'll give it to you.
I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
There is none. There is no such place best for women, because I tell you what, in the human race, every woman on this earth are all wired the same. Same organ, same type of, subconscious and conscious hardwiring.
But see,
experiences.
Akito, I felt when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I was dating. I had a fiance. She was British, and I went over.
She got to know you, and she broke it off.
We dated for about 2 years. I was having great sex. It was the best relationship I probably ever had in my life.
Ooh.
And the thing of it was that I went over to England because I met her. She was British. She still lives in Bath, England to this day. And I noticed over there, me being a dark-skinned Latin guy, that when I went over to England, I felt that because I stuck out over the English guys, the girls were nicer to me over there than here. Because here in Florida, there's dime a dozen Spanish guys. But when I was in England, I felt like the girls were nicer to me. And
you were a rarity.
And even my girlfriend broke up with me in England, and I didn't feel hurt or upset until I got back home. Because after we broke up, there was a girl I met on the plane. She gave me her phone number, and I called her, and I ended up hooking up with her and having sex with her the last 2 days I was in England. And so, I was still, so even though she broke up with me, Kim broke up with me, I wasn't upset about the breakup because I still had sex with another girl over there. But I didn't hurt me until I got home back to the States, where then I came back to Florida, and it was like back to reality. And then I was a single guy by himself, and then I was miserable.
Well, but, you know what? We have listeners in England. So if Kim happens to be listening, I would love for her to call in, get the dirt on you.
Oh my God. That would be funny. That would be funny. She's a dental hygienist over there. But what do you think, Akito? So don't you think that's true, though? Your look, I thought that way, at least with England versus here.
Well, let me piggyback on what you said earlier. The question you asked was, is it different when it comes to attracting women in different places?
Yeah.
And I said the answer is no. And the reason of that is because the only reason why, well, I'm not gonna say the only reason. One of the reasons why you stuck out in England is because naturally we like things that are rare.
Right, and I was a rare.
And right, so you was a rare commodity over there.
Right.
And the same thing here. So, but that's not to take away from what you accomplished while you was there. Let me just say that.
Thanks.
Now, there's many reasons why people break up.
Right.
You know, sometimes we don't grow together. Sometimes we change our mind. We change. So there's many different reasons why we things don't work out. But when it comes to someone who's trying to practice and understand dating and relationships, one of the common factors of why things don't work out is because, and we're talking about men here, if the woman meets a man a particular way, maybe he has a nice body, maybe he's a successful man or whatever, over time, if he stops cultivating that and producing more of that, then what that does is that triggers in her that this situation isn't progressing. So I need to jump ship. And the same thing we do as men, as a woman, if you're with her because she's hot, and whatever we consider that to be, and she loses that, maybe she gets in a fire or some shit and lose an arm, well, damn, we may leave her because of that, and that's pretty shallow.
Right.
But that just shows you that it's a surface thing that we're dealing with. And so anyway,
right.
It would have been beautiful if you would have returned back to, the U.S., America,
right,
with that same energy and emotions and belief that you have for yourself,
right,
and embody that and brought that back to your hometown, you would have continued doing successful.
Right. No, but then I wasn't.
It's only because we get back and we start to put ourselves in a box and say, "Oh man, I'm back in America. I can't get nobody."
But see, I feel like sex is like a happy drug, though. Like I feel like they even say we brought up endorphins and stuff. So I had another girl when I was there. So once your body gets used to it. So once your body's not getting that endorphin, that those chemicals that we give off having sex with a girl, I think that kind of makes us like depressed. I think there's like a dopamine they say we have in our head from having sex. So once we don't have that dopamine, I think that makes us depressed. At least that makes me depressed. Don't you think?
Yeah, that's what they call sex being a drug.
Yeah, I think it is. It's the happy drug. I feel.
All right. So can I ask how old you are?
I'm 36, sir.
Oh,
Ever been married?
Never married. Would have married all my exes, but I never married them.
Okay. Yeah, just curious.
Yeah, one thing about my experience in the pickup community, and I love it, and much respect to the pickup community because it helps a lot of people, men and women. Nothing negative said about the pickup community. But one thing I took from the pickup community is that it made me look further and deeper into the woman, looking at the woman besides her looks, because a lot of women would say men objectify women, but at the root of it, it's not that. It's far from that. We have some biological things going on, just like you mentioned about endorphins and all that type of stuff. So it's not so much I want her because of her looks, and I want women to understand that. It's more so that we are innately hardwired to want romance and companionship. So when a man initially approaches, it's not all about just trying to hook up. A lot of times guys are trying to fix something. And women are too. It's the same thing. So it goes both ways. Some men will call women gold diggers. I don't.
Right.
I don't believe that, because if I call her a gold digger, then I also must be objectifying women, because if I want a hot girl, then that's no different than the gold digger who wants a successful man who can provide for her and protect her.
Really? I never thought of it that way. I never thought of it. I never thought of it with the way you just said about gold diggers, that a guy that was like
thing. You can't have a gold digger and have a guy who wants a 10. If we what do we consider a 10 to be?
Right.
There's no such thing as that. So when we understand that we are both trying to accomplish the same goal, different ways of getting there, then we'll be able to understand that, okay, it's not that I'm just a loser, no one wants me. It's just that I have to understand the psychology and the science behind this thing. That's all.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess I guess so. I never really thought of it that way. I guess maybe I guess now, maybe that thinking I think is good. I mean, I guess you never thought of the other person. I never really thought of it that way.
I'm working on a book, and I'm not trying to plug myself, but it's something that I take pride in because I spent many years getting rejected, and many years get the yes, and many years even with women. And the thing that I thought that I was aiming for, that I finally accomplished, I realized that wasn't the main goal. I finally slept with all these women, and I felt empty at the end of it. And I realized, okay, it's not about just hooking up. It's just far beyond that thing. This is why you have so many pickup artists, and no disrespect to any pickup artists right now, or anyone who's in that community. Right. But this is why you have pickup artist coaches who actually lose women. Right. And they are incredible coaches, but they still lose women.
Well, I think
there's something missing. Go ahead.
I think like you said about the girl that I liked and all that, is that it's not only about getting the girl, because getting the girl is work to get the girl to like you back and to have her, but it's also about keeping the relationship going. That comes to Peter here, who's married. He's been married for how many years? You've been married?
Oh, 3.
No, that was more than 3. 3? Okay, he's been married for 3 years, but still, that you're keeping the person. So there's a difference. Like pickup artists, sometimes in the pickup arts, they teach you how to get them, but to keep the woman in your life.
I know guys difficult. Who are in their 50s, have never been married, never really had an extended relationship. They didn't care for it. Right. They went out, maybe they hooked up with a woman 2-3 weeks, moved on. Right. They were never looking for any sort of deep, long-term relationship.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But like you said, well, it's easy to get the girl. It's easier than you think. It's very difficult to keep her.
Right.
Especially if she's hot.
Right.
She's hot. Or let me use a different term than hot. Right. If she's very attractive. Right. Okay. Then that means as soon as you attract her and you get with her, we tend to forget as men that other men are still approaching her.
Right, exactly.
Every single day. She may be your woman, but when she go out into nature, there's other animals giving her signals, hey, I still want you.
Right, that's what I thought about the lady that I like. That's why I'm like, she's probably getting hit on a lot, Yeah, that's true.
So that's the main thing. It's really not hard to keep her either, but it's just understanding exactly how to do so. And a lot of times, the reason why things end is because we have our own personal agendas, and we forget that we have to grow together, and we grow apart, and that's what happens.
Right. And so yourself as a pickup artist, I mean, how many women did you date at your max? Like, did you date? I mean, I thought it would be. I feel like it would be hard to date 5 or 6 women at the same time. You got a lot of money to spend.
Don't call them by the wrong name
and stuff like that. I mean, were you able to do stuff like that? Did you date 5 and 6 women at the same time?
First, let me say that I'm not a pickup artist.
Okay.
I don't like labels or put myself in a box.
All right. Sorry about that.
I am very proficient in the pickup arts. I have coached for many years, helped a lot of men out.
Right.
Let me make sure. Give me the question one more time again.
I said, like, were you able to date 5 and 6 women at the same time? And isn't it hard? Because I would think you'd have to have a lot of money to spend to go out to dinners and all that sort of stuff. Like, I know I was doing some dating on OkCupid, and I dated just a couple women, and it was kind of expensive, and it took a lot of time too, because you have to have the time off, and then you have to go out on the dates, and
and that's actually a good question. Question.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you off the hook here. You don't have to answer that at the moment. But, going out in a social environment and meeting and picking somebody up is a lot different than online dating, meeting somebody, and then you've got a date right then and there.
Right.
So there's really a different approach. If she's meeting you to have a drink or a bite to eat with you, already there's that initial contact.
Right.
Now you got to make it stick.
Right.
So there's a big difference. Right?
Yeah. Right. It is.
Sounds like a but.
Well, no. It's not a but. I want to make sure your listeners understand what I'm about to say.
Right.
Right now, I'm a guest on your radio show. So I'm inside of a radio station paradigm.
Right.
Meaning everything that I am doing and saying is according to how your station or your show is structured.
Right.
So as men, when we are dealing with women, we are dealing with a dating paradigm that we've never studied, never really looked into, and never practiced. And so what happens is we go on a date. We think we're supposed to spend all this money to wow her and get her to like us.
Right.
That's automatic. From starters, that's automatically wrong. If you're trying to get her to like you, that's wrong. If I'm going to be an employer and hire an employee, I'm going to interview them and see if they are a good fit for my business or whatever I got going on. Same for her. So the dating is an interview process. You should not be whining and dining unless you want to. Tell the girl, meet you at the park, the museum, the gym, the library, somewhere outside of spending money. You don't have to spend money. You don't even know her. You don't even know you.
Right.
That's what a friend of mine told me mistake I make.
And then walk away with nothing. Go ahead.
A friend of mine told me that's the mistake I make. I try to go do all these fancy things right off the bat. And he's like, no, you shouldn't take her to an expensive dinner and shouldn't spend $300 on a first date. Because I do that sometimes. I've done that sometimes.
If you want to. No, if you want to. Because if you want to, that means if she says no, you get nothing. You're absolutely okay when a date is over with. So there's nothing wrong with spending money. I have no problem with that. It's if you're trying to get something in return, there's a problem. Because you're trying to buy her now. Guys got to really get this.
Yeah. You're
trying to buy sex if you're trying to get something from her on any type of date. I have no problem with inviting her out to dinner. I'll pay for it. If she says no, it doesn't work out, I'm absolutely okay with that. But if I'm going to take her to a fancy restaurant to get her to like me, you're going down the wrong road already.
Wow. Okay. All right. You just gave me a lot to think about and dissect about some mistakes that I was out there making myself. You know that.
You're subservient. You've already put her on a pedestal. And let me say this, because I know you have female listeners.
Right.
I respect women. I'm someone who believes in women empowerment.
Right.
So I'm someone who don't mind going out and doing something out of the kindness of my heart. So for the guys who are going out spending to have a good time, there's nothing wrong with that. But if the guy is trying to get something from her, like sex or hookup or anything like that, she already feels that, because you're not the first guy who's done that. She's been doing that since she was 12 years old.
Right.
So she's more experienced than you are in this game.
Right. That's probably true. That's very true.
So she knows when you're trying to wine and dine her. It's like this. You're trying to get to know me, but you don't know anything about me. And you're trying to buy your way to me or impress your way to me. So it's not genuine. And that's what happens. So sometimes you do get girls who want to have a good time. In that situation, that's good too. You have dinner, hook up, whatever. Nothing's wrong with that. But for the guy, and let me say this is very important. Because this was me.
Right.
The guy who is genuinely trying to build confidence and get better with relationships and dating, the best thing to do is come from the heart. Forget the rejection. Do everything from the heart, man. Just meet her for dinner or coffee, whatever, from the heart. Don't try to get anything in return. And you'll have more successes that way than the other way. I guarantee you. All
right, I'm gonna take your advice.
You may get taken advantage of at the same time, but that's a part of the process. So it needs to happen. You need to get taken advantage of so you can learn.
Right.
It's okay. It's okay.
Awesome. Akito, you've been great. I hope we can have you on the show again sometime.
I appreciate it.
Give us a plug for anything that you out there plugging. I wanted you to do Matt told me he couldn't make it on the show, but I want you to contact him. I'd really like you guys to do that seminar together in West Palm, because I think you could help so many people out there, including myself. So I hope you and him get to talk to each other, and I'll definitely be there front row if you guys do happen to do that
I'll
seminar.
Connect with him and we'll talk more about that.
Yeah. And
as far as As for the plugs for the books,
yeah, let me know the books and what you have out there.
Oh, there. You can go to Amazon or any iTunes or just Google either Keto Mosley, Aukeyto, last name Mosley, and my books will pop up. I've written Secrets to Inner Game 1 and 2. I will plug the individual I learned the information from. My teacher at the time and mentor was Arash D. Bazaar of Seductive Instinct. I used to be the head coach there. I'm no longer there. That's also a beautiful company. I recommend anyone take a look at that company as well, or anything from Arash D. Bazaar. And
also, how can they get in touch with you as well, so that the listeners can get in touch with you?
Really quick for those individuals who want to learn pickup. Yeah. The book is called Beyond the Game. Google that. There's also a children's book for you guys or women who have children out there. I've written a children's book as well. You can find me on Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, Instagram. The beautiful thing about my name is it's very unique. I'm the only one so far in the world. So if you just Google or YouTube or Facebook Akito, Aukeyto, or Instagram, I'll pop up right away.
Okay,
cool.
So, awesome.
All right, we gotta go, Akito.
Thank you, Akito Mosley, for coming on the show, and we'll talk to you again. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, pretty good. Nice guy. Yeah. Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. Take care. See ya.